Hello, in this video I'm going to get into the topic more dealing with how to understand the theme and the published or front end or what the public can see as opposed to the dashboard or back end, that's WordPress, and try and break that down for you because trying to go over just the theme itself and all its features and how you use all the features, that would be multiple videos. At least with this particular service you probably need a good 2 hour long video, maybe even longer, to try and go through everything and the possible options and things like that. So with this particular pointed specific question, it's a lot easier to go through. So this is the front end, and it took me a little bit to try and figure out which one of your pages were which and things like that. But you want to think of any web page as broken up in sections, especially when you're dealing with a CMS or a content management system such as WordPress. So up here you have your top portion, and this is your header, and this is your body here, and this is your footer from here to here. And there are various things in here, and it's kind of broken up, so I'm hoping that I'll try and be as clear as possible about it. So in the top portion here, this happens to be your logo portion, or the area in which you can put some kind of branding. Having some kind of text up here, it does take up a little bit of space. You may want to deal with something like like Nike does. They don't have to put Nike; they just have their symbol. But it's completely up to you. With this particular theme, it does kind of encroach upon the spacing that you would have at the top here, because this top portion does happen to share its space with the menu, which is up here. So this is the top menu here, this is the header menu, and then there is the footer menu. So these three particular items, this here, and this here, are actually controlled by the menu, which is in the back end here. So if you go to menus, that's where it's at. So you kind of have to look at this as different sections. So in menus, you see this is here. You'd have to set this up, save, and set it as that. So if we were to do that with this, well, I'm actually not sure which one you're using, but you would have to set it up in here and select which one you're going to be using. So with this, the slider, which is part of the header, is its own separate particular piece of the page and part of WordPress itself. So it's not actually controlled in the page because it's just the slider. You would then go into here on the back end. So we go to Revolution Slider, and we're just waiting for it to refresh. And there's this here. So you have a short code for it. It tells you how many slides you have in it. The source is the gallery, the name. And because you created it in here, what this would now do, the page would say, okay, well, which slider am I pulling from? You can have multiple, so you'd have one there, one there, one there. The page is going to pull from it. That's what it's doing in the back end. So to kind of show you what's going on, this here is the main portion, the body, where the actual content would go. It's in pages. So if we actually go to pages and look at what you have there on this particular page, is called Seal. We'll go into here. And so now that we know that the menu is not affected by pages, so you're not going to see any options in here dealing with the menu per se. Order would do it if you wanted to use ordering, but that's a numbering system that's a little bit too convoluted and difficult to deal with. You're just going to stick with using the menus here to deal with that. The body here is affected by this. But however, if you're using Vantem, you can add the items into that to create the various items in here. Like I believe I explained it in a different video, but you see it says text block. So you have text block here and text block here. That's controlled by this here. And you would actually control the slider by the options down here. So you don't actually create the slider in here and place it in here. You call to it. So you have the slider on, you select this, and you tell it which slide that you want, and you update it, and that's where it would actually come into here, because now you're getting an error at this point where it says you haven't selected an appropriate slider. So I hope that kind of clears this up. I'm running out of time at this point. Ask me any further questions. I'll gladly send any videos to you. Thank you.